So I have this problem when I brush my hair, right? The way my hair works, right? One, I always brush it in the same direction, this way. But then, because my hair is all poofy, right? What happens is you get the really flat brushed down part, and then poof, and you got this here, and then it looks like I'm balding. It looks really weird, but then I like mess it up, and I don't like it. That's not what I wanted to talk about. One, I'm thinking maybe I could vlog better if I like wrote out scripts for my vlogs, but the problem is I'd have to like memorize them so I'm not constantly glancing down at the script, because then it's like, look at the camera, glance down, look at the camera, glance down. But the thing is, I can't just glance and absorb what I'm going to say. I have to like stare at it for a good 10 seconds. And I mean, I don't generally stare directly into the camera all that often, because I just think staring at this one tiny little prick that's off to the side of what I'm doing, when the actual screen is directly in front of me, it just seems easier to look at the screen, but it looks like I'm looking off to the side, so I have to look back directly at the camera, and it's really weird. But I mean, I suppose I could just change that by shifting the actual camera so it's directly in front of me and the screen is off to the side, but then I'm still going to look at the screen because that's where all the stuff's happening, and I don't know. But so, one, I could try and, I'm thinking of at least attempting to, what's the word? Write scripts for my vlogs, which might work. But that's also not what I want to talk about. It's just something I sort of thought of while I was preparing this video. What I wanted to talk about is nothing of any importance, but I felt like mentioning it anyways. For the past, not the past 72 hours, but it wasn't even 72 hours, for like 38 hours, a day and a half ago, I decided to conduct an experiment. Not really an important experiment, but I have a current record of managing to stay awake for 72 hours, and so I kind of wanted to break that record by staying up like 96 hours, but that didn't work. But I had a secondary reason for trying to stay awake. It's because I wanted to be able to fall asleep at like 9 or 10 o'clock, which is like a normal time to go to sleep, instead of like staying up until 4:30 and then falling asleep and waking up at 2:30 in the afternoon. I wanted to fall asleep at like 10, wake up at a normal time. Needless to say, I fell asleep at 10, but then because I had stayed awake too much, I still slept until like 2:30 in the afternoon. So that kind of didn't work. And also I kind of failed to stay awake for more than 72 hours. But then I also failed to fall asleep again last night. So if I woke up at like 2:30 yesterday, I stayed up, and now it's like, it's not even afternoon yet, but now it's 9, so I'm on my way to another 24 hours staying up. But what I did last night when I couldn't sleep, if I can find where I wrote it, pretty much I did nothing but watch sciencey YouTube videos and mathematicy YouTube videos like Numberphile and Vsauce and Veritasium and a bunch of stuff that I can't remember because I have a bad memory. But just kind of strange, because usually I like stay up late watching like, you know, comedy and stuff like Dan Howell and whatever, or watching stuff on Netflix. But so I watched a bunch of math and sciencey stuff, and that's still not necessarily the point. Of course, what I'm making is just like a rant about stuff, so none of this is actually like an important point. So what I did is I drank a lot of coffee, and lately I've been preparing it in a French press, all hipster-like, because, you know, why not? But there's this ice cream place called the Gelato Fiasco where I used to live, and when they'd make coffee, what they do, they'd put like coffee grinds into like a coffee filter, and then just put that into a funnel, and then put the coffee mug under the funnel, and just pour water over it, so you don't have to like actually brew the coffee. You just pour the water over it, and out comes coffee. Now, I wanted to know how efficient the French version, being the French press, and the Italian version, being the gelato, was, and so I did math for fun. And it turns out Although the French press is more hipster and therefore more awesome. That wasn't me trying to say anything, I legitimately had to cough. It turns out the gelato fiasco method is more efficient at making coffee. Now, the French press brews a really strong cup of coffee, and it can only brew 3 at the most, and after that first cup of coffee, it gets progressively weaker and weaker. It's a 3, and that's a 2. And I came up with a formula to figure it all out. So the average of that would be about a 5 on a strength. The number of refills and the number of trips I have to go downstairs to actually make the coffee, in my process of filling this in, I realized they're going to be equal, so, you know, whatever. And there's like the clarity and cleanliness of the coffee being, 1, is it clear instead of murky, and 2, are there any like coffee grinds that slip through that are in the bottom of the cup? So you've got like a 7, because it's kind of like dark and murky for some reason, but it's also really strong the first time, and then you get like some microscopic grains, and then everything just goes to shit. Which coincidentally also averages out to 5, just like up here. Now to figure out the efficiency, what you do, you add the clarity, and, well, the average of the clarity being 5, to the average of the strength also being 5, giving me a 10. 10. And then you divide it by this number here, being 3, 10 over 3, 0.33 repeating. So, there we go, here's your efficiency. Now you do the same over here, and the strength was like, it wasn't as strong as the first one, but it was pretty consistent, being 6, giving me average of 6. What a shock. Then, I could have gone further, but I capped it at 3 because I was getting tired of coffee and taking the time to prepare it. And it equals, so it gives me at least an equal response. But, so it's at the very least 3 is the number of refills / trips downstairs. The clarity, being that it wasn't in a French press and the grinds were sealed in a bag, was always going to be a 10, as I wrote here, 10. So, you add this average plus this average, making 6 and 10, 16, by at least 3, being, just call it 3, 5.33 greater than or equal to 5.33, because if I, filled it up more, it'd be different. And that is how I killed my time, mathematically deciding the efficiency of coffee brewing methods. I mean, I took the time to come up with my own equation. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. And I guess that's what happens when I drink too much caffeine and don't get enough sleep and watch a bunch of mathy and sciencey videos on YouTube. So this has been a long video. Longer than I intended, but I actually accomplished something, sort of. I mean, the first half of the video is me talking about stuff that didn't matter. But I sort of accomplished something. I'll try and make more... Actually, it'd be kind of fun to make more math, sciencey videos, even if it's completely arbitrary, like, the amount, like, the efficiency of coffee brewing methods. I think that could actually be fun. So I'll consider that. I'm going to write a script for my next video and see how that works, because also I'd like to keep these short, and this is, like, 530 seconds, and I don't know how many minutes that is, because I'd have to like punch it into a calculator, and that would just take more time that I can't edit out because I don't have video editing software, as you've heard me complain about before, so I should really just stop mentioning it. So those are a few ideas. Writing scripts, math, sciencey, arbitrary videos. I'm thinking of setting up like a daily or weekly just check-in vlog full of just, I did such and such today, it was a really boring day, end a video, even if it's only like 30 seconds, which, let's face it, it's not going to be, because I'll start talking about one thing, and then I'm just going to start going on and on about, like, sitting in bed all day doing nothing. Like, even now I'm trying to end the video, and I'm already almost, like, adding another minute to the video. But yeah, so, daily check-in journal-y sort of thing. Or if you want to use the the girlier word, daily check-in diary-ish videos, arbitrary math / science videos, scripts, maybe. And with us just passing the 600-second mark, I am going to call it there. See you in like 2 or 3 days, or whenever I have an idea for a video. Later.